unactivated windows. Guys, we're gonna have to call the cops.
10th floor, we have someone who didn't pay for windows.
Hey everybody, welcome to the first episode of Setup Addicts. That's right, pimp my setup, consider it dead. I'm back now with a brand new show. It's basically the same thing, but just a little bit different and a lot later. Whatever. So anyways, just as a quick heads up, you can head on over to setupaddicts.com for more information. That is going to be the hub of everything you need to know. And then as far as submitting your setup, yes, we are accepting submissions. Head on over to submityoursetup.com, get it submitted, and get yourself featured on the show. But with that said, let's get started hopping into the first setup of the day, submitted by Isaac, who's 15. Isaac uses his setup for gaming, editing, and watching YouTube. Basically, he's just every teenager nowadays. So taking a look at this, this is Venom themed. Maybe you got that, maybe you didn't. I think you'd have to be aware of the character. Yes, on his PC, he does have the really cool decal, which I absolutely love. And of course, he has the little figure statue thing underneath his unactivated windows. Guys, we're gonna have to call the cops. Let me just,
10th floor, we have someone who didn't pay for windows.
Anyways, I told everyone I was going to stop using that, but yeah, and he also has the wallpaper. So let me know in the comments and people watching live, is this enough to say theme, personality, this is what I'm going for? Or is it still leaving a little bit to like be desired? You know, are you kind of like do something above the foam, which by the way, the foam looks great. I really love what you did there. And honestly, it is just a nice combination. Sure, is it simple? Is it somewhat cookie cutter? Yeah, but I think that he still went above and beyond and put a lot of time into making it what it is. Now, one thing that I kind of noticed, and this is just because I'm fat and like space is really important to me. If I was sitting at that desk, there is the drawer to the left side, right? Everyone sees that. Now, if you want to sit in between that, that now means that you are somewhat off center to that monitor, which kind of makes things a little more difficult, you know, because now you're kind of like, you know, oh yeah, this is fine. My neck is good. My hips love it. I just kind of feel like shifting things over would be nice, but then you fall into the issue of having that PC there. It's kind of a, I don't know. Does it trigger you? Let me know in the comments down below. I think, you know, one thing that triggers me is just the LED giving up on life, kind of like I have. You know, it just kind of falls off and calls it a day. So I don't blame the LED, but at least you could help them out, fix it, and call it a day. So as far as the cables go, I mean, this is amazing. This is how it should be done. Even something as simple as the headphone cables are managed, wrapped up. Now, realistically, you know, on the down low, I'm going to be honest with you, it's kind of a pain in the ass undoing that each time. So I kind of feel the pain there. But as far as like for a picture, for a show, it looks great. The microphone's really nice. Everything about that is solid. And one thing that I've seen a lot of people say in the chat is they aren't a fan of the fact that it's just a single monitor setup. Now, given the fact that he's 15 and he does gaming, editing, watching YouTube, sure, he could totally get away with one monitor. Some people only want one monitor, and there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I think if you want to multitask or whatever down the road, another monitor, perhaps an ultra wide, something to that extent would be nice. But I think before you do anything else to this setup, the first thing you need to do is activate Windows, because yeah, come on. Seriously, you could at least like Photoshopped it, just brush it out or something. But overall, Isaac, amazing setup. For 15, you completely hit it out of the park. The second setup of the day is submitted by Luke, who's 18. He uses the setup mainly for work and gaming, and this setup has definitely been on Pimp My Setup many times before, but from what I can remember, it just feels brighter, happier, and it just seems like a chill spot to hang out. Of course, it has all the aspects that I love, which is wall-mounted monitors, the posters with frames, shelves with pop vinyls. I mean, this is classic Matt. One thing I'm not a big fan of is the fact that you had to kill something for this. Kidding. But yeah, I mean, as far as the subwoofer, not really ideal. Hopefully your PS4 isn't going to suffocate, but I feel like there should be more than enough breathing room, and probably because of the angle of the photo, it's not like really that close to the desk at all. But this is great. You look overhead, ton of free space on the desk. It seems like everything on the desk is actually used. You know, headphones, you got the Echo, you know, you got your phone stand, the watch, so on and so forth. It really is a very nice setup. And I'm very happy that the lighting is sufficient now. And really the cable management is pretty good. It's just little annoyances. Like this could have easily been handled, unless it's like super tight, which if it was tight, why would it have the curve? I don't know. Just something like that would be easy to fix. Little things like this. I mean, just fixing the subwoofer as is would be really nice. But for the most part, I think this is a chill setup. What do you guys think in the comments down below? Mr. Scarf Man here. I don't know. Are those scarves? Yeah. So let's just move on to the next setup. The next setup of the day is submitted by Tom, who's 15, and he's set up for gaming and schoolwork and also occasional video editing. Ah, yes. Those are those dubstep intro YouTubers at their peak. That's not English. Jesus, I just ruined that. It was a good joke and I ruined it. We'll try it again. The next setup of the day is submitted by Tom, who's 15. He's set up for gaming and schoolwork and also the occasional video editing. And if you're not aware, he probably does those dubstep. I'm not doing that joke anymore. Ruined it. Oh, what's up? Is it Tommy or Thommy? Anyways, all right, let's try this again. Last time. Next setup of the day is submitted by Tom, who's 15. He's set up for gaming and schoolwork and also the occasional video editing. This is definitely his setup because he has a T. Anyways, taking a look at this, I do like the simplicity. The color scheme is very nice. The soft gray looks really good with the wood tabletop and the dark drawers. And I like that he has sort of this pop of color, you know, the red right there. And then he's got the green for, you know, his probably real plants, right? Totally real. But I actually think it's nice. I mean, he's kind of on the border of being a garden because he might have like one too many plants. I think if there were a little more, you know, have a little bit of a difference in them from big to small, different kinds. I think that'd be pretty nice. But this here, I think just borderline having yourself, as a garden. But the speakers, what is going on there, buddy? Yeah, those are, I mean, you could have them that way, but probably not touching or just about touching. Let's spread them out a bit. I'm totally aware of the fact that you may not have the proper space on the right side to actually put it upwards because of that secondary monitor, but that's where you would utilize the sideways approach. Why not take the left one, put it next to your Nintendo Switch around over here, and then just simply put it upright, and then take this one and like put it over here. Something like that I think would be effective, and although maybe not the prettiest, it's still effective. Also really like the headphones. I'm wearing this thing. Okay. Anyways, the cable management, I mean, there you go. It's just boom, underneath, makes its way down. And yes, is it the prettiest thing in the world? I mean, it's coming down. It has zip ties. That's what matters. And as we see from the side here, he does have a garbage can right here, along with like exposed pipes, or I don't know. I'm not a pipe guy, but yeah. So anyways, the chair is nice. It matches the red. I kind of like it. It's a very subtle theme. There's not too much like shoving it down your throat. You obviously like bridges, and yeah, it's nice. The microphone's cool. I like how it comes out. Boom, boom, bang, bang. And overall, I just think it is a nice setup. It is straight to the point, and the cables, you know, not that bad. They're managed, and that's what matters most. I think more importantly, maybe working on the paint job would be nice. Just kidding. This is not Paint Addicts. But okay, there you go. Next setup of the day is submitted by Colin, who's 26. And actually, today is his birthday. So I don't know, does that make him 27, or did he purposely put it as 26? I don't know. Either way, happy birthday to Colin. You guys have probably seen this setup many times before. He's actually been up in my setup time and time again. And he's in a new space. And each time he finds an amazing way to kind of make that space his. Because really, if you strip everything away, it's a basic plain wall with carpet. You know, you got the closet door right there. Most people would look at this as like, yeah, just put a desk in, put a monitor, and call it a day. But look what he always does. His family owns a woodworking shop, so he actually goes above and beyond each time. And we're in the chat right now talking about epoxy resin and all that, which basically he has like a river flowing through his desk, which if I go to, I believe the last photo, look at that. The cable disappears in the freaking river. How cool is that? But yeah, so he uses his setup for gaming, entertainment, and graphic design. Here's his PC. Actually, believe it or not, this is not your typical PC. He actually just cut down a tree, and it so happened to have all of the internals. Yeah, the jokes aren't as good as they used to be. Anyways, check it out underneath. This here is cable management. I think when you have the means to create a desk like this, you have the ability to spend time figuring out what your cable management is going to be like. And we can kind of somewhat see here off in the corner how he has this little section. I would assume there's like raceway and channels and all these things. We can kind of see he's got his Xbox over here. We can see how the cables are routed to that. But look how neat that is, because you guys have to be aware of, not having that big power brick and all that. It's a pain in the ass making this look neat. He's got the sleeves, everything you could possibly think of. It just looks so clean. And at night, and when it's dark out, the mood is just there and it's so nice. And I actually have to give him a shout out. If you've seen my setup tour and all that, I talked about it. He was the one who was like, hey, just use a clamp light, remove the clamp, the shade thing, and all of a sudden you have all these easy ways to mount LED bulbs. And that's exactly, I don't know if he still, I think so. That's his microphone. Duh. I don't know how if he still does it that way or not. But having that option of clamp lights and introducing light, especially different shades of light, makes all of the difference. And even when it's daytime, you just change those on over to white, daylight, whatever you want to use, and boom, it just adds that glow. And it looks so damn good, I gotta say. But I am a big fan of just the way he mounts everything. He's got sort of like this structure. The monitors line up very nicely. The TV, it's just so nice. It really is. It's a solid setup. The usability is definitely there. His controller's nicely off to the side. The Pokeball, all that stuff. This is a nice way to display a plant, on a coaster. So nice. I wish I had the means to have a custom desk made like this that looked so good. Amazing setup. What am I going to say that's bad about this? Well, actually, you may have something. So let me know in the comments. Let me know in the live stream chat. And there you go. This is just so nice. And the personalities there. It's just an awesome freaking setup. Amazing job. Next setup of the day is submitted by Ben, who's 17. You set it for gaming, homework, photo, and video editing. And this is what it looks like. Now, I'm not sure if this is in his bedroom or it's in the hallway or just in a random extra bonus room. But I don't think it's his bedroom, just because you kind of see it has this really nice curvature here. But it's, it doesn't have like an actual door, unless your bedroom is like 7 rooms in one. I don't know. You might be like that. But taking a look at this, I think the most interesting thing about this setup is the fact that it is sort of a blend. And what I mean by that is it's a blend of new age RGB, sick ass speakers and blah, 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 ultra wide, all this sick peripherals. And then you have your grandma's desk. And she's like, okay, you see here, Ben, this came from the war. Your grandfather used it. And you're like, okay, just give me the desk. And that's kind of what it looks like, happened here. You just kind of slapped your stuff on a desk, which, again, it's fine. Some people really care for this antique sort of looking desk. And if that's the case, then more power to you. But for me, I think just the desk alone, believe it or not, would make just a world of difference. It doesn't even have to be anything crazy. Just even a black desk, considering all your peripherals and such seem to focus on that color. It would be really nice to just switch that out. Then I think the next step would, if you get a new desk, is have one where you can actually clamp some monitor arms to it, take these off the stand, have them float a little bit. Then that way this has a little more breathing space, and it'll just feel bigger, better. At least that's what I tell the ladies, you know what I'm saying? And then, I think the artwork above, I'm a big Disney guy. I think it's pretty cool prints. They work. They're, it's kind of cutting it close here to the curve, but for the most part, I don't know. I'm not an interior designer. I think it's fine. Then you have like this cork board thing. Works. Good job. I don't know what the hell this is. You're not a brony, are you? Oh, did I just offend? I probably offended a lot of people. But yeah, taking a look at it, it's very nice. But now the thing I want to talk about, his cable management. Now, before you go and say, oh, this is so bad, it really is kind of the cheap way to do things. And there's nothing wrong with what he's doing here. Similar to stuff I've done in the past. And it just goes to show it doesn't matter who you are, what kind of money you have, you can always hide cables. He's got everything wrapped up here with a Velcro, step 1. Got duct tape, step 2. He's got himself masking tape, step 3. He's got himself like a cable sleeve tubing thingamajiggy, step 4. And there's probably more things that I can't actually see. But then we look below. I mean, he's got things mounted to the wall, which is really nice. And then when you go to take it off, you rip all the paint off and your mom beats you with a bat and you start crying. And you say, I'm sorry, I'm never going to do it again. But yeah, for the most part, this is very straight to the point. It's clean. Is it the best thing in the world? No. But is it good in terms of cable management? Sure. Good stuff. I definitely think your desk is holding you back. And there you go. I like it. The next set of the day is submitted by Amir, who's 21. You set up for gaming, porn, and work. Taking a look here. It is just so simple and plain. And I kind of wanted to show this because it is sort of like a PSA. If you're going to submit, I am going to be picky because things like this are very cookie cutter and just kind of like, not a lot to talk about, you know? So I don't want to waste too much time on these. So if it falls under this category, just know it's not that your setup is bad. It's that I don't really want to focus on blank setups. So anyways, for this episode, I will focus on it. He has been on the show before. I don't think there is a lot done with it compared to previous times, but you know what? YOLO. Similar situation here. He's got his console over here. He's got pop vinyls, controllers. Now this is a situation where he doesn't have controller stands. Is it going to like break the setup? No, but how much nicer and neater would it look if he was to actually, you know, throw a little something on there? A nice little controller stand, little controller bucket. I don't know. We're seeing a lot of fake plants today, snowball. And I've seen it already. People talking about, well, actually, Atsu said in the chat that poor PC. We have a close-up, well, a left side shot where we actually see exposed LEDs. Because in this previous shot, you're like, wow, I've got a nice little bit of, you know, color bleed over here. It's pretty nice. And then you look and you're like, oh, geez, okay. Just kind of stops there. I'm not a big fan of exposed LEDs, but, you know, you do you. And then here's another shot where you kind of see a little bit of the cable management and things like that. It is a very basic but nice setup, you know? And now it's time for the final setup of the day, submitted by Danny, who is 22. He used setup for graphic design and some light gaming like PUBG and GTA 5. And, yeah, that's right. Another Star Wars setup. I guess the first of the season, but yeah, that's something we see very often. But this one is very, you know, it's just, it's not a lot. It's just very simple, not overboard, not shoved down your throat. The first thing I noticed when I look at this setup is, yes, black and white, black and white, black and white. And then I look at his desk and I'm like, why is it not black or white? Preferably white. I feel like if it was white, it would just kind of add to the whole mood, the vibe, the feel. But I do understand it is a sit-stand desk and it's a nice one at that. So I'm not going to complain about the desk itself. But I just feel like if you were able to add white and to the space a little bit more, every color on your desk, even just the keyboard LEDs would pop 10 times more. But speaking of the fact that it is a sit-stand desk, really adds to sort of the complication of having a setup like this, because now you're in the situation where the cables are going to be a problem unless your name is Danny and you spend the time to mount all of them to the bottom of the desk and have it come down to literally just one cable that is white, so it doesn't really bother anybody. And it has just a lot of slack. And by doing so, he can go up, down, left, right, up, down, all around. Doesn't matter. He's got more than enough slack. So nice seeing attention to detail there. He's got these little fake plants to pop vinyls. He's got the controller on a stand. See what I'm saying? Yes, controller stands are very nice. He even has AirPods, so he's probably a snob. I'm just kidding. It's just a meme. And then, yeah, the PC, small form factor, very nice. I love the trying ZRGB. I'm trying to just fit in, guys. I'm not a PC guy. I am a PC guy. Just it's been a bit since I've done it. Anyways. But yeah, I just love the way everything comes together here. You know, even this is not something he did on purpose, but the textured walls, honestly just adds to it, because look at the way the light bleeds over it. It's really nice. The prints, black and white. Again, I just wish the desktop was white. And if you really wanted to, you could actually achieve it, but it would be probably a pain in the ass to do it at this point. But I love it. It's very nice. Everything, oh, my camera's cutting out. Every aspect of it is just clean, to the point. Amazing. Great job. So there we go. That was the first episode. A very, very rough first episode. I have a lot to work on and figure out. I want to do more setups, but I also want to cut down the time. So I think I went a little long. But anyways, head on over to setupaddicts.com. Go to submityoursetup.com if you want to get featured on the show. Be sure to follow us on Instagram. We're going to start posting setups there. Username is swashin. Of course, all the stuff is right here down below. We're going to post to Twitter. We're going to post on our Facebook group. And most importantly, go to our Discord, discord.gg/Matt. That's where we're talking all of the time. And then, of course, you have to watch live every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern on Twitch, which is just swashin. So everything down here is important. Take a quick look at it, write it down in your little notebook, and call it a day, because this episode's done, but we're going to be back next week. And you would know that if you read this thing right there. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this episode of Setup Addicts. I'm Matt Philly, and this is the end, because I can't figure out an outro. So there it is.